All right, let's talk about something you've probably wondered about. How do life insurance companies really make their money? We're going to pull back the curtain today. And trust me, it's way more than just collecting your monthly payments. Knowing their playbook is the secret to you getting the best possible value. So, let's dive right in.
So, you send that premium payment off every month, right? But have you ever stopped to think, where is this money really going? I can tell you one thing, it's not just sitting in some dusty old vault. The journey your money takes is, well, it's fascinating and it's basically the engine that drives this whole industry.
So here's the game plan for the next few minutes. We're going to follow the journey of your premium. Then we'll look at how they profit from investing your money. We'll also uncover the big secret behind lapsed policies. And most importantly, we'll wrap up by showing you how to become a way smarter buyer.
Okay, first up, the journey of your premium. Let's start right at the beginning with the absolute foundation of their entire business model. Yep, it's your premium payments. To you, it's the bill you pay to keep your coverage. But to the insurer, oh, it's a whole lot more than that.
So what exactly is a premium? It's pretty simple, right? It's just the regular payment you make for your policy. But I love this analogy. Think of it as the raw fuel for the insurance company's engine. It's what powers literally everything they do, paying claims, covering their own overhead, you name it.
The flow of that money is actually pretty straightforward, at least on the surface. First, you pay your premium. Then, the insurance company pools all that cash together. They use some of it for the obvious stuff, paying out death benefits and covering their own business costs. And then, and this is the really critical part, they invest the rest. This is where it gets interesting, and it leads us right into their second big profit center.
That's right, profits from investing your money. You might not think of them this way, but life insurance companies are basically massive investment firms. This isn't some little side hustle for them. No way. It is a core, fundamental part of their business model, and it generates an absolutely huge stream of revenue.
See, they don't just let your premium payments sit there. They take this enormous pool of cash from you and millions of other policyholders, and they put it to work in the financial markets. And here's the thing. When they get strong investment returns, it doesn't just boost their profits, it also lets them offer more competitive prices. It's a good reminder that a financially strong insurer is almost always a smart investing insurer.
So where does all that money actually go? Well, they're not day trading or chasing risky bets. They're all about stable, long-term assets. We're talking about things like bonds, which give them predictable income, but also stocks, real estate, and other conservative investments. The goal here isn't a quick buck. It's steady, reliable growth over the long haul. We're talking decades.
Okay, so why should you care about any of this? Well, it really depends on what kind of policy you have. If you have a simple term life policy, the insurer's investment success doesn't really impact you directly. But if you have a permanent policy, like whole life or universal life, then those investment returns are absolutely critical. They are literally the engine that fuels the growth of your policy's cash value over time.
All right, now for the part that I think is the most surprising. And honestly, it's a bit controversial. This is the profit center that almost nobody talks about or even thinks about. The secret of lapsed policies.
So what's a lapsed policy? It's exactly what it sounds like, a policy that just terminates because the owner stops paying the premiums. And when that happens, guess what? The insurance company gets to keep every single dollar you've ever paid them. And their obligation to pay out that big death benefit, poof, it's gone, vanishes completely.
You might be thinking, okay, but how often does that really happen? Get ready for this. According to the research, a staggering majority of term life policies, we're talking over 90%, never, ever pay out a death benefit. And why is that? Well, sometimes people just outlive the policy term, but more often than not, they just stop paying and let the policy lapse.
Just let that sink in for a second. For every single policy that lapses, the insurance company has collected years, maybe even decades, of your money without ever having to pay out the huge claim it was supposed to cover. The source material we're looking at puts it perfectly. This is pretty much pure profit for the insurers. And here's the bottom line, the biggest risk for you. For the insurance company, a lapsed policy is a huge win. But for you, it's a total loss. Every single dollar you've paid is gone, and so is the protection you were counting on for your family. This is exactly why it is so important to understand this side of the business.
Okay, so now that you know how the game is played, let's talk about the important part. How can you use all of this information to your advantage? Let's pivot from how they make money to how you can become a much smarter buyer. Here it is, the big takeaway. Understanding how insurers make their money helps you realize that shopping for a policy isn't just about finding the lowest possible price, it's about finding the best value. It's about looking at the whole picture, the costs, the fees, the risks, and finding a policy that truly works for you.
So here are 4 steps you can take to make a smarter choice. 1. Ask smart questions about costs and fees. Don't be afraid to dig in. 2. Request a breakdown of your premium. See where the money is going. 3. Compare policies on their net cost and how transparent they are, not just the monthly bill. And 4, and this is maybe the most important, make sure the policy actually aligns with your personal needs.
So what kind of questions should you ask? Here are a few great ones. Ask, what are the built-in fees and margins? Ask, how is performance measured for this policy? Are there any hidden costs I should know about? And after what we just talked about, you for sure need to ask, what are the terms for a policy lapse and reinstatement? You know, an agent who can answer these questions clearly and confidently, that's someone who values transparency.
Look, the bottom line is really simple. Knowledge is your best policy. The more you understand how this all works behind the scenes, the more power you have as a buyer. It's as simple as that.
Now, I know navigating all of this can feel a little overwhelming, but you really don't have to do it on your own. If you need help finding a policy that's fair, transparent, and cost-effective, that's exactly what we do here at The Annuity Expert. We provide free quotes and a totally unbiased analysis to help you make sense of it all.
So, feel free to contact us today. Our services are always free. You can call us at 770-755-1565 or just visit our website at annuityexpertadvice.com. Thanks so much for joining me to peek behind the curtain of the life insurance world.